Podcast number 23. God, it's hard to believe it's already been 23 podcasts. Today we're going to talk about how scammers are alive and well and thriving. And I'm about to share an email that I got that I thought no longer existed, but they're still doing it, so that means people are still falling for it. Let's talk about it. So I received an email. Running a business, you receive you deal with a lot of vendors, and I received an email about an invoice that I had paid or owed. I mean, there was a confusion on it, and immediately knew it was fraud. But then it got me thinking, I do this for a living, and I know better. But my father has called me on this type of invoice on more than 2 to 3 occasions because he thinks he owed it or they debited his account, and we have to investigate. And so I decided let's talk about it. So I'm going to bring up this email, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and go from there. All right. So I received this from a Kristen Pitty. Don't know who the hell that is. Immediately I look at the who it's from, and makes no sense. Due September 6th to a Jerry Cano. I'm not Jerry Cano. From Kristen Pitty, thank you for a recent order. The payment method usage in this transaction is an auto debit. Please note, blah, 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 blah. It has a phone number, and then it says pay this invoice. And then I look at it, it's an invoice for McAfee. I have McAfee. So of course it made me look twice, but I knew better. It has an amount, it has a version of this, older version. So they're saying that my McAfee is going to be voided, which is kind of why you people react. Then I click on the invoice, and it shows who this is to. Jerry Cano, Kane, Media, and Gregory on Microsoft. Of course, that's not me. But a lot of people don't check that. It's from this lady, and here's an invoice number, an invoice date, and it says pay online. So if I click on that, it takes me to a website where I can pay. Obviously, all this is BS, right? I Googled real quick that phone number, the 833-756-9785 number, and quickly realized that it was not a phone number of. It immediately came up as fraud. So let's talk about why this is going on and how the way the scam works is pretty simple on the surface of it, right? You get an invoice and you didn't pay it, or you weren't trying to pay it, or whatever it may be. And you call the number because obviously you don't want to pay or are scared it's owed or whatever. Most people are very mindful, so they don't just throw it away. They actually will take a look at it, which is what they want, right? You call that number and they're like, oh, well, sorry, it was a mistake, or the debit's already going through, or whatever it may be. And one of two things happens. One, they want to get access to your computer so they can get access to your online banking, checking, and all that you probably have on your computer, most likely. Two, they're going to say there's a virus on your computer of some kind that needs to be cleared. Or three, they're going to say, we need to, that's already going through, we need to credit your account. Can you give us your banking information? It takes on some form of that. And, a small percentage fall for it. They want $296.96 is a lot of money. So they will give them gladly the information to get that money back. A few things you can do, though, to know that this is fraud. If I just start with what I got emailed, it obviously isn't to me. Second of all, if I Google that phone number real quickly, as I said, it comes up as fraud. But let's assume all of that is not good. You're not going to do that. If I click on pay this invoice, it takes me to a third-party website to supposedly quote-unquote pay. It gives me an older version. But look, questions. Contact us, support help at helpdeskwinrar@linkpc.net. If this is really a McAfee, then it would be a McAfee website, right? I click on the invoice, see it's McAfee, right? Obviously, I'm not Jerry, so then you're going to call and say you're not Jerry. The Kristen Yan Pity, her email's not on here. If it was really from her, it probably would be on here. If I look at the email where it came from, it makes no sense whatsoever. Again, linkpc.net. They just want to get access to your computer, it looks like to me. But let's assume all of that, you're not going to do that. There's 3 things you can do. 1, don't ever call the phone number on the invoice, the vendor. If they really took it from your debit account or checking account or a credit card, you call them. So the first thing you do is verify, you personally, did $296.96 come out of my account? And you look at it and yes, no, you can clearly see that it didn't. But let's assume that you're still scared that it might, or they might have to. The second thing is you call up your credit card or your bank and ask them, and then I'm sure they'll tell you no, and they'll tell you it's fraud. Or you could even block that amount if you think it's still going to go through. So those are the 2 ways that you do it. But what you don't do is you do not call the vendor, because that vendor goes to a scam call center. And they will sound like they're legit, and they are not. This scam comes in many forms. Amazon, I've seen it, United States Postal Service, McAfee, a few of the big companies that do viruses, virus software companies. I've seen it come from an online, like a cloud source place, so I've seen that. But they all are pretty much the same. They are saying they're taking your money, or they took your money, and they never did. And that's the issue here. So moving forward, here's what you're going to do. What you're going to do is you're immediately going to take a look at this and realize that you don't have McAfee. Now, if you do have McAfee, they wouldn't email you like this. You could do it on you already have an account with them. So you could go directly into their account and see if this is legit. Let's assume it's a vendor you don't have an account with. Again, log into your checking account, savings account, see if they took it. If you're scared somehow they are going to take it, call your bank. Don't call the vendor. Whatever you do, do not call that vendor. This is the key. This is where they will get you. If you're worried still that this might be, something legitimate, send us a copy here. We'll take a look at it. We'll do some quick research for you, and we'll figure out if this is all BS or not. I think what happens is you get 2 types of people that fall for this. The first one is the older population that don't know enough about technology to take a quick look and be like, this is BS. The second is the people that they're so busy and they just see an invoice and they pay it because they automatically think they owe it. They don't even question it. You should really look at everything and go from there. And hopefully that's all it takes for you to verify. But again, if you aren't sure, call your bank. If you're still unsure, send us a copy. We'll take a look at it. We'll let you know if it's BS or not. All right, guys. God bless. Keep your chin up, and we will go from there.